All right, guys. So we do have a very small local business in San Francisco. It's a coffee shop that closes after 70 years of operating in San Francisco. And guess what they said? Would any sane person remain in San Francisco as a business? So what's going on is, this local business obviously is probably facing a lot of crazy stuff in the streets of San Francisco. Guys, if candy is being locked up at Walgreens, this is probably not going to be the place to open a business at all. In fact, San Francisco right now is so starving for businesses, they're even launching pop up stores for vacant areas. I don't really think that's solving anything. I think the only way to get businesses back isn't doing pop up stores. It's not about doing ad campaigns, it's about cleaning the streets. That's it. It's a great place. Location is honestly fantastic. It's a Pacific Coast. You got two bridges. It's kind of like a peninsula. Weather's great. People like it. It is honestly a fantastic city. If you've ever been there, I've been there pre pandemic. I could tell you it was great. A lot of people were awesome. Culture was amazing. Had a lot of like open air drug markets, but I kind of just ignored that. But now the open air drug markets are flooding everywhere. Homeless camps are everywhere. Small business owners cannot get a break. They can't make money. They're constantly being robbed. Police can't do anything. Police are also overstretched. So what's going on is you do have this coffee shop has fully shut down its doors. We're also seeing that, multiple blows to the coffee shop, lack of support to create outdoor dining during the pandemic, also the disappearance of the lunch crowd. I wonder what happened there. You do have a lot of tech employees just leaving. Rumors are San Francisco's population went from 850,000 people to 750,000 people, a 100,000 people loss. And then you also have a massive decrease in tourism. Now, the official report of the decrease in tourism is decreased by 16%, which is insane. But honestly, it's so much more than 16%. When you go to some of the tourist traps in San Francisco, they're literally tense homelessness, a lot of crime, and barely any tourists anymore. Tourists go there once, they don't come back, and they spread the news about how bad it is. And plus, there's so many other better places in the world and even in the US to visit in San Francisco. And says that the disappearance of the lunch crowd is really affecting the money situation, obviously, because you have Uber going remote, Twitter thinking about leaving, and several companies, several startups, they're absolutely done. There's also the challenging landlord and tenant relationship, along of other stuff, but overall, it's going to be about the street conditions, okay? Terrible street conditions, a lot of crime, a lot of homelessness, which eventually equates to a lot of people moving out. And at the worst, the restaurant was losing about $20,000 a month and pretty much is thinking about a potential new location outside of the city and just trying to get away from all the craziness. And pretty much says that I would love to remain in San Francisco as a business, but the question is, why would any sane person do so? It's a shame because this isn't the only business closing. I mean, when you have icons like these closing, something's wrong with the city. When you have Old Navy leaving, when you have Anthropology leaving, when you have shoe companies leaving, you got Uniqlo. Guys, Uniqlo's not even like a luxury store, and they're leaving. Whole Foods is leaving. CVS and Walgreens are locking candy up. It's getting to this point. Okay, it's terrible. Now, I've also checked this out. Two business tax relief measures clear a San Francisco Board of Supervisors committee, but sublease tax break fails to advance. Now, we're also seeing not just crazy reforms in the tax situation, but we're also seeing none of the important things being addressed here. Okay, sure, there's a lot of bickering back and forth about the budget, taxes, all this kind of stuff, but it really boils down to one thing: the city is going broke. If you guys don't know what's going on, San Francisco is having a massive commercial real estate crisis here. Commercial real estate properties in San Francisco have tanked a lot. In fact, commercial real estate properties in San Francisco are dropping 50 to 75% with little to no bidders. Condo prices are dropping, and by the way, this condo is in a pretty decent location in a $1.4 million. And seriously, ask yourself, is this even worth $1.4 million? In fact, you could probably tell them to sell it for 900K and they might even say yes at this point. Now, the estimate is crazy. It's not worth $1.5 million. In fact, so many units are having some of the fattest price cuts you have ever seen. And a lot of these price cuts are constant. And these units are on the market for several months now. And don't be tricked that some of these units say, oh, we're being listed for a day on Zillow. In fact, the agents just simply delist it and relist it to make it look fresh. It's a lot of these homes. New construction, 1 bed, 1 bath, $675,000. And there's already a lot of amenities going along with it. And I guarantee you, during the peak, this was probably a almost $900,000 unit. And plus, it's not worth $675, guys. It's probably worth like $500K or $400K right now. Nobody's moving in. There's an outflow of people. And like I said before, city's going broke. Commercial real estate's going broke. This massive iconic mall, Westview Mall in San Francisco, it just went out of business, defaulting on a nearly $600 million loan. Hotel chain Park Hotels and Resorts defaults on a massive $700 million loan. Closes down its 3,000 room hotel. Guys, that is an iconic hotel. And Westview is also a very iconic mall. You also have very famous small business stores leaving. This place is pretty much an investor's nightmare. If you're a businessman or if you want to be opening up a store, whatever it is, San Francisco is not the place for you. Number one, opening a store here is so hard. The regulations are so tough on you. And then two, they tax the crap out of you. And then three, businesses get robbed, nobody cares. It's a shame. And check this out. Even right now, $100,000 is a low income for a single person household in San Francisco. Housing is terrible in San Francisco. In fact, there's barely any investors right now. If you go to the Midwest right now, there is a massive construction boom. A lot of the construction and lumber companies, they're all doing really well, especially stock-wise. San Francisco, in fact, is such a bad environment. A lot of builders don't want to go there. Plus, building regulations are so tough as well. So you have rich people leaving, investors leaving, builders leaving. And of course, even now, with the city being as bad as it is, $100,000 doesn't give you anything. Now, $100,000, if you go to Miami, it gets you something. You could at least get yourself a luxury 1 bedroom near the sea. But in San Francisco, can't get you squat. So this is why a lot of workers are just leaving. Okay, you got tech workers here making $150,000 a year, and they're probably living in like a basement somewhere in San Francisco. So they're moving out to the Midwest, and since a lot of jobs are online, why would you ever live in this crazy expensive city with crazy high crime and crazy high homelessness? Nobody wants that. Now you also have this situation here, San Francisco mayor proposing to tearing down Westview Mall and other shuttered downtown retailers. That is by far, in my opinion, the worst decision ever. These are very expensive infrastructure projects, and these are icons of San Francisco. Tear these down, sure, what are you going to build? Like a park? I mean, you can't really do anything. You want to have these buildings there just in case businesses move back once again. I mean, you don't want to tear this down. I mean, you don't see New York City or Chicago tearing down their downtown malls. Only San Francisco. It's crazy. I feel like instead of doing all this crazy crap, just clean up the homelessness, okay? Clean up the tents. Do what San Diego's doing. San Diego's not doing well at all by any means, but at the very least, they know having a bunch of homeless encampments in their downtown and tourist areas is not good for business. So they actually implemented a ban, and they also will probably start affordable housing, and they're going to be looking after the homeless population as well, but at the same time, preventing camps, encampments, stuff like that on businesses. San Francisco needs to do the same thing. It's a great city, great environment, and I guarantee you if they clean things up even just 30%, a lot of businesses will start flooding back and real estate properties will start going up in value. But right now, nothing's being done. There's a massive brain drain. People are leaving and nobody is coming back. And this isn't just the San Francisco situation. Los Angeles is losing people. Seattle's losing people. The greater Bay Area is losing a crap ton of people. And they're all very wealthy and very, very smart individuals. We're looking at engineers, doctors, investors. These type of guys are leaving.